Well, hey there, everybody. Good morning to y'all. It's Ramblin Deano's Coffee and a Song on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Welcome to West Allis, Wisconsin. And as you might see, I've got an Arctic scene complete with polar bear out my window today. And, it's been pretty hot here of late. We've had, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 days in a row of 90-degree weather. And I don't mind the heat. I lived in Texas for 3 years and really didn't bother me at all. And this is not Texas heat by any means, but my one gripe about the hot weather is that when I do my show here in the morning, I have to do it in this stuffy little bedroom in the back of our house, and I can't have any AC or fan on because the mics pick it up. So as you're watching me, I'm trying to stay cool by looking at my friend the polar bear there, but I'm actually sticky just about every morning you're watching me. More information than you probably needed, but anyway, I hope you're all doing great today. And I thought I would play some of my songs off of the first Dollar Store record, which, when I was doing some boning up on the arrangements and the lyrics and stuff, it's easy for me to listen to these songs if I just go to the Bandcamp website that Bloodshot has all the stuff on. It's easier than me digging out CDs or whatever. And I noticed that on the Bandcamp website it said that this album was released in November of 2002, the first Dollar Store record. I seem to have it in my head that the first Dollar Store record was 2004 and the second one was 2007. I'm notoriously, as you all are finding out, very bad about all these details. Ice Cold Bandana. Good idea. I don't generally wear bandanas, but that's a look I could go for. I could kind of do it in the Dave Alvin kind of jaunty scarf kind of manner, or just pull it out of the freezer right before I go on here. Anyway, so first Dollar Store record. For those of you who don't know, Dollar Store was a band that I had together from, I don't know, I guess probably about 2002, 2003 till about 2008, 2009, something like that. And it consisted of me and Joe and Alan from the Waco Brothers. And then shortly after the first album was recorded, we added Tex Schmidt on lead guitar. And so that was the lineup for the second album. The first album, Tex plays on a couple tracks on it, but pulled in all sorts of friends to play, all the filigree, all the flourishes and groovy stuff that I'm not capable of playing on the record. So John Rawhouse, a fabulous steel guitar player that, among other things, plays with Nico Case now, plays on the record. We got Dave Alvin, the aforementioned jaunty scarfed Dave Alvin, to to play lead guitar on a couple tracks on it. A Chicago guy named John Rice, who's an amazing multi-instrumentalist, played fiddle and baritone guitar and some slide guitar on it. So Gladys is saying it says 2003 on the CD. So both Bloodshot and I are wrong, apparently, unless Bloodshot released it in 2002 but put a date of 2003 on it. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, it's a long time ago, no matter how you slice it. And so, I mean, the first album is pretty fun for me to go back and listen to because we weren't totally formed as a band yet, and it was this hodgepodge of friends and other musicians that made the album what it is. So it's a little different than the second one, Money Music, which is just solid Dollar Store. And anyway, the first song I'm going to do on the album is called Around the Bend, and Most of it centers around an attempt I made when I was about 24 years old to move to New York to sell wine, to work for a wine wholesaler. So I had already been in the business for, actually, I wasn't 24 when I did that. What am I saying? It was later than that. I've already been in the business for 6 or 7 years. And thought, if I really want to make it doing this wine thing, I got to go to the belly of the beast. New York's the biggest, most intense wine market of the in the world, and I didn't last very long. Let's just say my youthful inexperience led me to get my ass handed to me by the New York market. And I was really depressed at times living there because I was working my ass off and didn't seem to be making any progress. And it was only after I'd already made plans to leave and come back to Chicago that one of the older sales reps there said, that account list that they gave you that you haven't been getting any success with? Well, they give that to every single rookie salesperson who ever starts here, and nobody ever gets any sales. But I was too naive to figure all that out back then, so I was happy to get out. But anyway, Around the Bend centers on some of those experiences. Fire up the searchlights and release the bloodhounds. There's a man gone missing today. It was all I could muster when they took me back home, just to try and remember my name. Hey. 6 months on the pavement, 6 months on the bottle, 6 months on the couch all the time. Your heart is a racing, your shirt is a soaking, dirty laundry out on the line. The trip always has the same end. You wake up to find you're around the bend. The trip always has the same end. You wake up to find you're around the bend. The grains that make up an old photograph, it feels like ancient times. Since you pulled your disappearing act, it's been a downhill climb. So fire up the searchlights and release the bloodhounds. Our personality's gone AWOL. They hosed me down, threw me on a bus, and kicked my ass back home. The trip always has the same end. You wake up to find you're around the bend. The trip always has the same end. You wake up to find you're around the bend. Around the Bend. So there's a line, speaking of the hot weather, there's a line in that song, your heart is racing, your shirt is soaking. And I had an appointment as a wine sales rep with a really important account, one of the few really important accounts that I had. And New York in the summertime is humid, sticky, like I'm experiencing right now as I speak. And you don't drive around to these things in New York. You walk, you subway, you bus. Traffic's too terrible to use a car to do this work. And I was running late for this appointment, and I was so desperate to get there in time. I was running kind of for blocks with this bag of wine samples that probably weighed 25 pounds. And I show up for my appointment, and I look down at myself, and it's like a wet t-shirt contest or something. I'm wearing a white dress shirt, and I'm just completely soaked in sweat. And they just kind of looked at me and laughed and said, hey, do you want to go freshen up? But again, young, I didn't know what I was doing. All right. So the next one, I believe I wrote coming back from the Waco's trip to Australia in 2001. That date I do know for sure. That year I do know because it was about a week after 9/11 that we went. And this song is sort of a mixture of feeling like after such a fabulous time in Australia and this kind of adventure that we were on, of a mixture of not wanting to get back to my normal life, and but also a recognition of the fact that I do have a fear of doing things too terribly bold. So it's a combination of the two, and it's called Beyond Our Means. I'm way up in the sky. I'm up in the sky. I got no damn business being up here so high, watching the landscape go by. I sprung up from the ground. I sprung up from the ground, and I'm counting my change as I make my way down to call you, to feel you somehow. Once I was frightened of the simplest of things, darkness and hatred and dreams. Now I'm not less, I'm walking on the wings. Nothing is sacred or seems beyond our means. Beyond our means. I belong to the earth. I belong to the earth. And I don't feel quite right if I can't touch the dirt. From now on, I plan to stay put. Once I was frightened of the simplest of things, darkness and hatred and dreams. Now I'm not not happy unless I'm walking on the wings. Nothing is sacred or seems beyond our means. Beyond our means. Beyond our means. Beyond our means. I've always been kind of proud of that one. I don't know why I don't revive that one more. It's one of my favorite things that I wrote for Dollar Store. All right, one more. Lest you think that the only thing I wrote about for Dollar Store was myself and my own selfish inner turmoil. This next song is called Exit Number 9, and I had a job at a wine shop in Highland Park, Illinois, which at the time was called Wine Discount Center, and I worked there for many years. And Exit Number 9 was the exit number in Highland Park where I worked. I wrote this song because at the time that I worked there was some publicity about Highland Park's police department doing a lot of racial profiling. And after reading that, I noticed that anytime I would take Highway 41 back and forth from Chicago to Highland Park for my job, when I was in Highland Park, if you saw someone pulled over, it was a beat up old car. You know, I mean, everyone on Highway 41 up there drove 90 miles an hour, but nobody in a new Mercedes or Land Rover got pulled over. It was always somebody brown who was driving a beat up old Toyota or something like that. I mean, this song touches on that and sort of the cruelty of conservative, compassionate conservatism, as it was known back then. Conservatism, that's the word, right? Exit number 9. It kind of imagines one of these people driving through this area that just wants to get to see a loved one or to their job, and is being hassled for no reason other than being poor and having different skin colors. So, as usual, it's written in sort of a roundabout way that you would have never guessed that if you've listened to it 1,000 times. But Exit Number 9, now you know. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Send your things back second class. Keep your conscience and your lesser crimes. Lesser crimes. Keep the mud off your windshield. You gotta keep your vision clear if you're ever gonna spot that highway sign. Highway sign. Someone clear is waiting off of exit number 9. You can throw your money down in the pit, pick it out and double it. Funny, I never seem to benefit from good times. From good times. Troopers backed into the weeds, waiting on those rusty wheels. Just passing through, just pay the fine. Pay the fine. Someone dear is waiting off of exit number 9. Well, your heart has been seen in all the right places, but the words don't match the looks on the faces. You say you're leaving no one behind. Well, my thumb's in the air and you just go screaming by. Number 9, 9, number 9, 9. Someone dear is waiting off of exit number 9. There you have it. A tale of police department racial profiling in Highland Park, Illinois from 2002 or 3, depending, or 4, depending on who you trust. And so, you know, maybe a small indicator that the sort of issues that we're dealing with right now are far from new, as I'm sure you all know. Hey, thanks so much for joining me here, joining me and my polar bear friend here. Use the right hand, Dean. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful, hot summer weather. Maybe it's not hot where you are. I don't know. But I'll be right back here tomorrow doing the same thing. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, stay home if you can. And I love you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow.